Capital. This is the National News Desk, America's News Now. Thank you for joining us tonight. I'm Dee Gatton, and we begin with Charlie Kirk's alleged killer making his first appearance in court today as the charges against him were announced. Ryan Smith at the live desk with what we are learning about the investigation into the suspected assassin. A lot to unpack tonight.
22-year-old Tyler Robinson now facing multiple charges tonight, including aggravated murder and the assassination of Charlie Kirk. Prosecutors are, in fact, now seeking the death penalty. Now, not only was Robinson's DNA found on a trigger of a rifle used in that shooting, prosecutors today outlining incriminating text messages, a confession, they say, to his roommate, who is also his romantic partner. It all starts right here. Robinson sent the text, quote, "Drop what you are doing, look under my keyboard." Now, in this thread, the two discuss the rifle and a potential motive. Robinson, "I had enough of his hatred. Some hate can't be negotiated out." Roommate, "How long have you been planning this?" Robinson, "A bit over a week, I believe." Then, referencing his rifle, he goes on to say, "I can get close to it, but there is a squad car parked right by it. I think they already swept that spot, but I don't want to chance it."
After shooting Mr. Kirk, Robinson hid the gun, discarded the clothing he wore when he fired the rifle, and told his roommate to delete incriminating text messages and not talk to police.
Robinson's parents later telling police that after the first images of the suspect were released, the ones you see right here, they agreed it looked just like their son. They had a fear that it could have been him at the time. And when they questioned Tyler, he told them he was at home sick. Meantime, a judge ordered Robinson to stay in custody without bail.
From the nation's capital, this is the National News Desk, America's News Now. I'm Dee Gatton, and the suspect in the assassination of Charlie Kirk appeared virtually from the Utah County Jail today. Tyler Robinson is facing these 7 charges, and prosecutors are pursuing the death penalty. Let's go straight to the National News Desk. Brian Schnee in Salt Lake City with us tonight. Brian, any late developments on when or if we may see federal charges?
Dee, for the 6th day in a row, all eyes on the state of Utah. As you are very aware of those 7 charges, there is the opportunity for any sort of federal enhancement. However, nothing here on the ground has been confirmed. Jeff Gray, the Utah County attorney who you heard from, saying there is the opportunity after reviewing, quote, evidence and the law from federal agencies. Director Kash Patel, the FBI, was grilled talking about the investigation today. And President Donald Trump also weighing in about the possibility, saying it's not clear whether there will or not be federal charges at this point, in addition to any state charges that he's already facing.
Yeah, the DA received that question earlier, didn't provide a concrete answer, but a lot of time spent, Brian, on that text exchange, which was included in the charging documents. Share with us how the DA responded to the alleged interaction between Robinson and a roommate.
Well, the DA did take questions today. He was extremely limited with his responses. That included fielding questions about the text messages. When asked directly if they are confession in any way, he replied that the judge will determine if that is the case at a possible trial. But while the DA, Jeff Gray, did take some of those questions into account, he did not elaborate further beyond the 10-page charging document, which he shared publicly today in a court filing.
I also noticed during the news conference earlier, the DA didn't really answer if there were any suspects, anything on the ground to indicate the suspect may have had an accomplice.
Well, the FBI was grilled today, and they did say that they are investigating others who knew about Robinson's alleged action.
And in addition to the text messages Ryan just mentioned, the Washington Post obtaining screenshots of the alleged confession on the platform Discord. The National News Desk, Jeff Harris joining us. FBI Director Kash Patel addressing the Post reporting while testifying on Capitol Hill today. Very heated. What else did he share with lawmakers, Jeff?
So appearing before the Senate Judiciary Committee this morning, Patel confirmed Kirk's accused assassin, Tyler Robinson, appeared to confess in a Discord chat, which included over a dozen people. The FBI now working to track down and question all of those people. Patel telling lawmakers Tuesday morning there are more than 20 other users in the reported Discord chat involving Robinson.
We're also going to be investigating anyone and everyone involved in that Discord chat.
Patel confirming the report from the Washington Post that obtained screenshots of what appears to be Robinson confessing to assassinating Kirk in a Discord chat. The messages reading, quote, "Hey guys, I have bad news for you all. And it was me at UVU yesterday. I'm sorry for all of this." The message reportedly being sent Thursday night, about 2 hours before officials said Robinson was in custody. Patel telling Fox News this week they've already contacted and connected with multiple people.
There are also lots of family members and friends that have already been spoken to.
Information systems expert Rajiv Garg tells us Discord is a messaging platform with over 200 million monthly users.
To have a voice or video calls with each other, share text messages, play games.
But unlike other messaging platforms, he says Discord allows users more control. Community moderators mostly control privacy and security settings, along with who's invited into communities called servers.
Each individual user has a lot of control compared to the platform itself.
Aside from Robinson, Discord has been at the center of controversy in the past. Thomas Matthew Crooks, the attempted assassin of President Trump, had an account on the Discord app. And Peyton Gendron, who carried out the 2022 mass shooting in Buffalo, also had a private server on Discord functioning as a diary. Now, Discord says that it has not uncovered evidence that Robinson promoted violence on the platform. Its official policy also stating it does not allow hateful conduct or the use of hate speech. Reporting for the National News Desk, I'm Jeff Harris.
I grabbed my rifle still. To be honest, I had hoped to keep this secret till I died of old age. I am sorry to involve you. Roommate, you weren't the one who did it, right? Robinson, I'm sorry.
7 counts were officially filed against the man accused of killing Charlie Kirk, including aggravated murder. Tonight, we get a sense of the evidence prosecutors are poring over, including what authorities claim are text exchanges between Tyler Robinson and a roommate. U.S. Attorney John Fishwick joining us. A lot to unpack tonight, John. What about that alleged admission of guilt in a chat? Could that be an attempt for the suspect to utilize the admission as a plea to avoid the death penalty, which, as you know, is on the table?
Didi, I think it'll be uphill for his legal team to get the death penalty off the table. In those chats with his roommate and when he talked to his parents and when he wrote the note, there's no real remorse. There's no I'm sorry. There's no asking for forgiveness for assassinating Charlie Kirk. It's pretty clear he's just admitting to it. So I don't think that would garner much sympathy with the jury who's deciding whether he should get the death penalty or not. In fact, I think it may hurt his case and make it much more uphill for his legal team.
That's interesting. Utah's governor and the president had been calling for the death penalty even before a suspect was identified. You remember the intense manhunt. Robinson's arrest was facilitated by his father, seemingly with the knowledge, John, the death penalty would be on the table. What impact could that have on the case? Do you see a scenario where the mother and father could perhaps testify against their son?
TD, I fully expect them to testify at the trial. I'm sure it'll be very emotional testimony. I'm sure they didn't want to be put in this difficult position, but nonetheless, they were by their son. And so he told them he did it. He basically admitted it to them. They know that that gun is a family gun, and they'll be able to identify on the video, yes, that's our son. Who's up there on the roof, jumping off the roof and coming into the building. So I'm sure they don't want to testify, but they'll be subpoenaed. They'll have to tell the truth. And I fully expect them to be very emotional, very impactful testimony at the trial.
Admitting to guilt in messages, in chats, does that hold the same weight? Does that count in the same way a suspect admitting guilt in front of prosecutors, in front of law enforcement?
I think it may carry even more weight with the jury. After all, he's very close with his roommate, obviously very close with his parents, or at least has been at some point in his life. Presumably, if you're going to admit to a crime to some people you're very close to, I think a jury's going to think you're telling the truth. So I think it'll be very powerful testimony when they bring that out, that he's admitted to this on a number of occasions to assassinating Charlie Kirk.
I mentioned the president a few moments ago. What could federal charges achieve that state charges couldn't?
Well, the state is going for the death penalty, and I think they have a really strong chance of having that to be successful. I think the feds are scouring all the social media and interviewing a lot of witnesses who were in the defendant's orbit. They're looking to see, what did he target Charlie Kirk because of his religion? And that can be a federal crime if you target somebody for their religion. It can also be a federal crime if you target somebody for their First Amendment, for asserting their First Amendment rights and be strong on that right. So it can also be a targeting crime in that regard. And that crime for targeting somebody for the First Amendment carries the death penalty. I think they're also looking, like the Maggione case, did this defendant track and stalk Charlie Kirk, and that can be a federal crime as well. So I think they're combing all of his social media, interviewing many witnesses, but I fully expect the feds to bring charges against him. This is a very serious case that obviously impacted DOJ and the president in a big way, so I fully expect them to bring charges.
And it is to be seen if there are more suspects. The DA, I remember saying earlier that law enforcement is following up with any potential leads, so we'll see on that. Former U.S. Attorney John Fishwick, as always, thank you for your time.
Thank you.